Scanning for audio.
Welcome back to a Tin Dog podcast. This time talking about story 7.4, no, 11.4 from the Fourth Doctor's time. This one's called Shellshock. It's written by two authors. Now, you don't get that at Big Finish quite often. What you get is one individual voice coming through. This is very, very good. Seriously, tremendously well done. Now, my daughter's currently doing the First World War at school. One of my fixations at school was history. I absolutely adored the lesson. So I did make a bit of a speciality of First World War, and I was fixated at the time during my GCSEs. We were given worksheets, and we had to work our way through methodically all of these worksheets, filling in everything. And because I loved history, and because of the way that my science lessons were structured and rotated, I was in a lower history set than I should have been. It doesn't matter. Doing physics and electronics as a BTEC while you were doing GCSE. This isn't important to you. What is important is that I managed to get through history, all of the paperwork, so much faster than everyone else in my group. At one point, something I'd written was actually read out in set 1 history, which was something about the genocide in the Second World War. In set 1 is an example of what they should be achieving. One of my proudest moments, that one. I digress. Really, me off topic, what a surprise. Anyway, I love history, and I ended up working at the Royal Armouries in Leeds, so that was nice. Anyway, my daughter's studying First World War, and this story's set in the First World War. Tell you what, let's do the synopsis, and then we'll get back to you. When the TARDIS lands behind German lines at the height of the First World War, the Doctor finds himself inadvertently transported to a hospital full of traumatised soldiers. They're suffering from shell shock, but also something else. Something causing vivid nightmares that chill the blood. Something not of this place. Things are not quiet on the Western Front. And of course, that kind of says a lot, because what I was saying about being at school was we did the designs of the trenches, the tunnelling, all that, but it was always from the British and what became the Allied forces kind of side, never the German side. And I was always fixated on what life was like for the Germans in the First World War. Did they have poets? Did they, because we had the, Blackadder goes forth to refer back to, but we didn't have as much to go on. Now, my dad introduced me to the movie All Quiet on the Western Front, which is the First World War seen from the German point of view. And that's what this is. All of the characters who aren't the Doctor, the majority of the characters who aren't the Doctor, are actually First World War German side people. Because obviously the main villain, the main monster in this, is something otherworldly. And yes, the geography's been cheated to make the story make more sense, but you know what? I care this much for that. Because this is Doctor Who. If it was all taken as fact, then we'd all be lost. Yeah? So let's have this in a slightly parallel world where the geography makes sense and this alien invasion is just superb. So, what we've got is a brilliant, truly brilliant First World War story. Yes, tiny part of the back of your head is going, is Paul McGann on somewhere up the line having his Dark Eyes storyline going on? Could be. I don't know. / care. Because this feels so 1978, 76. No, we'll call it it's mid-70s Doctor Who. It's doing the First World War and it's doing it beautifully. Yes, the carnage. Yes, no one wins. Yes, the anti-war messages that always came with Tom are here. And they're great. They're so well structured. I love this story. And it is available individually. You don't have to get the box set. But let's face it, you're going to get the box set because A, it's cheaper, and B, you get all 3 stories in one, which is just brilliant. As far as I'm concerned, this is something well worth going into. So, I'll say farewell, and I'll speak to you all very soon because you're about to hear the trailer. But it's a cracking story. So until next time, be seeing you.
No, please. No!
That's the same dream. All of it's the same.
You were being dragged down into the earth? I've had nearly the same dream. Same, I tell you.
The same dream?
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The Fourth Doctor Adventures, The Nine.
You there! Which way did he go?
That way, sir.
Then what are you standing there for? After him!
I think you should still be in hospital. Ah, Doctor, look out!
We've been spotted. It's a checkpoint.
Captain Beck said you were a spy.
I am not a spy.
Then who are you?
This is the true war machine of the future. Fire!
It doesn't make any sense.
Now, Schumann, I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
From inside a padded cell. Now I know you're mad.
Ah, finally. Do you know how long I've been sitting here on my own?
A few minutes, not long.
Ah, yes. Lovely. Lovely, lovely things.
The Nine.
There have been 9 of him so far. 9 different personalities occupying a body that's changed its appearance 9 times.
Say that again. Go on. I dare you.
I'm scared. I want my nanny droid.
He's an extremely dangerous man.
Kill her. How dare she?
So you say.
I do say, Mr. Policeman, I do.
You're going to look lovely in a pot in the control room.
He has a device that can take the heaviest object and make it weigh next to nothing.
Cheery bye! Which can make big things really small.
Yes.
What a dreary place.
It's a police station. What do you expect?
My blue box. You put it in the evidence room.
Never mind about your damned box. We've got to stop the Nine.
Ah, did you get it?
Here you go, boss.
So many things. So many wonderful things. Nobody can make me choose.
What now? What are you going to do?
When you promised me an exciting adventure in space and time,
Yes?
I didn't expect having to take up lodgings with you in a dilapidated house working for some crank of a newspaper editor because of whatever happened in that explosion.
There seems to be a power set.
Yes.
Yes. I like this fellow. Find out where this Mervyn Peake fellow is and have him brought here.
You, madam, are a tyrant.
Am I?
Now you threaten our lives when we've committed no crime, when we've not even had the facade of a trial.
Honored guests, please raise your glasses for the first toast of the evening to Her Most Gracious Majesty, our missing Queen.
Do you know how many escapes there have been since I arrived here? None.
That's very impressive.
Not really. You 3 are the first prisoners I've ever had.
But Doctor, it's been 3 weeks. I have a family.
Well, I have a time machine.
Which you've lost.
I rather think we're the lost ones.
Big Finish for the love of stories.
Are you sure you wouldn't like a jelly baby?
Hands up!